everything I possibly can. I'm out there hitting the roads, hitting the pavement. Where is the police department? They didn't do their job. I'm angry because you did 8 years in prison and you didn't die, and now you come out and they kill you.
Peachy time, doing this song. Peachy time, peachy time, yeah. Let's talk about real life issues, love and relationships. Let's have a good time with the missus, yeah. Celebrities. Let's talk about current events. Let's talk about things you don't see on regular TV. So join in on PEACHY time. PEACHY time. Tune in on PEACHY time. PEACHY time. Come join us on PEACHY time. PEACHY time. Join us on PEACHY time. PEACHY time. Yeah.
But I didn't get married just because he was fine. I got married because we make hell nervous. I got married because I got a vision for what we could do in the earth. I got married because I believe me and him are unstoppable. So you need a rider. Let me get gangster with it for a minute. You need to marry a rider. You need to marry somebody who will go down into hell with you and take back everything the devil stole from you. I got a vision for my marriage. I got a generational curse to break. I got the statistics to prove wrong. I'm not doing what's always been done.
Tune check music.
I was just sitting in the cell thinking about the world. Why you never let me hit your phone till I was home for real? I was thinking about them days when we used to smoke and chill. I don't even spend a block. Hood don't feel like home for real. I done did my bit, got me feeling like a prison nigga. Mobbing on the yard, I don't feel right without my niggas with me. I've been with them bloods for so damn long, I don't know nothing else. I shake up the bees even with mom, she be like, what the hell? She just shake her head for something red, and that's like every day. Growing down, be balling, hear me whooping from across the way. Niggas that I grew up with, they don't even look the same. Niggas I was shooting with, they all booked or passed away. I feel like I made it out. Music kept a nigga sane. I still like the door inside the room before I think I'm safe. Yes, I'm on parole, but all my niggas got them felonies. P.O. say I'm pushing it. I tell her ass to push on these. Yes, I let them hang. I ain't in the business of tucking my nuts. Boy say I'm a pussy, but he shot, so he know what's up. Boy say I'm a pussy, but he shot, first I'm pulling up. Ain't you on parole? What's that thing that you trying to touch? Shh. You been saying way too many words. Stop trying to make a post. Niggas out here playing like they acting. Flag is just a pose. City where I'm from, it ain't that dangerous. Niggas still get blown. Niggas like these strippers up in college trying to grip a pole. Misha tried to play like he is savage. Had to let him know. Misha tried to tell me eat that ass. I'm like, you got to go. Dominoes. I took my foot off the porch before I rank. I swear I done had me some heart. Old niggas saying I'm smart, don't play with Lil Marley. That nigga from be a shark. Nary I picked up the dark, he in love with the violence. That nigga made us get marched. All on my face is a scar, ain't no bitch in my yellow. You know I had to play hard.
All right, it's your girl, the missus, baby. The missus with them kisses. Mwah. What's good, y'all? What's good in the city, baby?
What up, though?
It's your girl, the missus in Pooley. It's Pooley, y'all. Pooley here. All right, y'all. We gonna go on ahead and get started with this show. I know this is a highly anticipated show. Explicit language, and also allegedly. I get my hair done tomorrow, y'all. So it's a hat day. Shout out to Hat Day in the A. So shout out to Darnell as well. He'll be seeing me early in the morning. And then y'all see me tomorrow with my hair done. So make sure y'all tune in tomorrow, 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. We have an interview tomorrow with Tone. I don't have his flyer up. I thought I had his flyer up. I'm sorry. I don't have it. Sorry. But he's a celebrity artist. He's a celebrity artist named Tone. So make sure y'all tune in. Celebrity artist or indie artist, one or the other. But make sure y'all tune in to watch it, okay? Because the boy can sing. He can sing R&B all day long tomorrow. All right. So now we got that out the way. We got it on out the way.
All right.
Y'all, if whoever has been watching Peachy Tea Time since January, you guys have seen me cover this story with these 3 men, Armani Kelly, Dante Wicker, and Montoya Givens. These are the 3 Detroit rappers who they found murdered in an apartment building, abandoned apartment building, supposedly have been, even though they had lights in this abandoned apartment building. But
it happens.
It does. It does. But that was just kind of strange. But you're right, it do happen.
No, not strange.
Okay, well, Poolie said it's not strange.
It's abandoned, and I'm about to live in it.
Well, we'll see. We got a lot to talk about tonight, baby. We got a lot to talk about tonight. I will be filling everybody in. We're going to start it from the beginning. For those that have not seen this story, a lot of people have. It went nationwide.
I'm about to say, I don't think it's nobody that ain't seen this story.
Well, actually, it's a couple people that haven't seen it that reached out to me.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a couple people that reached out to me that hadn't seen it. So I told them, don't even worry about it, because we're going to fill everybody in. We're going to start from the beginning and work our way to what's going on right now. This story runs deep. Y'all are going to see someone on here tonight, not in the flesh, but you're going to see him on the news broadcast. That's going to blow y'all minds if y'all don't know this story. All I'm going to say is he's a pastor, a well-known pastor. Everybody knows this man. Everybody. And how I think everybody know him. If they don't know him, they know his sisters and brother. They know the sister and brother, definitely. But I'm gonna explain all that, how that ties into this case and everything. It's a lot, y'all. It's a lot. But most importantly, we have to bring up Armani's mother. First time ever doing a podcast. She's going to let you all know why she chose Peachy Tea Time to come on for the first time. She's only done news broadcasts, and everyone that knows this story knows her. I assure you that. Because she was in the forefront for her son. From the beginning all the way to today's date, she has been in the forefront, trying to find justice for her son, Armani, a.k.a. Marley. I hope I'm saying it right. If I'm not, I'm sure she's going to correct me on it. But he is an independent artist. That's who y'all saw rapping during our intro tonight. Boy did his thing. But we're going to get into these details. We're going to get into the details because Lorrie Kemp, which is Armani's, a.k.a. Marley, his mother, and she got some things that she want to say. And that's what Peachy Tea Time is for. We don't do no editing. We don't do none of that over here. Okay? So, we're going to go ahead and bring her up. Introducing to everybody out there that's watching Peachy Tea Time tonight. And there's a lot of y'all out there tonight. Thank you. Make sure y'all continue to come back. Miss Lorrie Kemp, baby. Miss Lorrie Kemp. Hi, Miss Lorrie. How are you? How are you tonight?
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Before we even get started, I must say thank you. Thank you very much for trusting me with your son's story. This is going to be different from a news broadcast. I'm sure you could tell that by the introduction. It's definitely going to be a little different. But
okay.
At the end of the day, we're here for your son, Armani. We're here for Dante, and we're here for Montoya. the 3 rappers that was found in Detroit, Highland Park to be exact, abandoned apartment complex building. Um, First and foremost, let's get started and let's put it out there in the air. Let's put it out there so everybody can know what made you come to Peachy Tea Time, Miss Lorrie. It was so many, I'm sure, other platforms you
Well,
definitely could have went on.
the thing is that we were introduced a long time ago before I even basically started this whole search. I mean, I had people that live in Savannah that referred me to you and tried to get the story out there. You have been in contact with me from day one. I mean, it's not like we just met each other or I just listened to some YouTube podcasts that were out there. You've been in contact with me from day one. I know that you prayed for me, and I know that you have had my back. You have constantly just checked on me time and time again, even if I didn't have time to say 2 words or just to say thank you or whatever it may have been. I think I left off on day 8 of my little journey on Facebook. And after that, I never went back because I was too busy pounding the pavements, knocking on doors, anybody who would listen. And I appreciate your patience with me because I wasn't very patient with my own self in the whole aspect of trying to uncover that there was 3, and then not just that there was 3, that they were all murdered. I think that was the hardest part for me.
Exactly. Now, when I spoke to Lorrie for the first time, it was kind of brief because she has so much going on. I mean, it was so much going on. We had messaged each other first, and then the day that we talked on the phone, I would never forget this for the rest of my life. The day that we talked on the phone, which was on a Thursday, you all, and she was supposed to come on the show on Friday. We talked Thursday morning. She told me at that time that this runs deep. That's one of the main keywords that I remember. The boys had not been found. They were still missing, and Peachy Tea Time handles missing person cases. So that was my purpose for reaching out to Lorrie, so that we can broadcast it on here, and hopefully other platforms can pick it up just as well. That's larger than mine. So when I spoke with her, Lorrie did a lot of talking. I was just listening to her, to what she had to say, and it was just breaking my heart. Totally breaking my heart. But she told me it runs deep. And when she said that we was all well and prepared to do the show on a Friday night with me and Pooley, and when I got off the phone with Lorrie, maybe 5 hours later, I get a message from someone in Michigan. And it was a broadcast saying that they have found the bodies. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just spoke to her this morning. And she hadn't known that morning at all, because we was planning to do the show the next day. So being that they found the bodies that evening, there was no way I was going to ask her to come on that show the very next day. I wasn't there. But I stayed in contact with her. Not just because I wanted her to come on the show, because I had a heart, y'all. I have a heart. And I felt sorry for this lady, number one. And number two, Lorrie, I got to say it, you did your thing. Lorrie did her thing. Like, I was watching the news broadcast. I was seeing the things that she was doing. She wasn't just sitting there trying to figure out when the police gonna call. She literally took matters into her own hands. And Lord, that's where I want to start off with tonight. Not with that. I want to start off with Armani. Let us know about Armani. What are some of the things about him that you definitely are going to miss? And how was he as a little kid?
He was rambunctious. I raised 2 boys on my own, and Armani was tough love. When I had my first son, I had a village that helped me because it was my first child. When I went into labor with Armani, it was just Armani and I in the middle of the night. 5:27 is when he was born, and I drove myself. I had him, and we had a tubal and went home at 7 o'clock that same day. So he's a trooper. It was just Armani and I, loving, caring, giving, respectful. I think the turn for the worst went when my father died in 2015. My good kid became the bad kid, and my bad kid became the good kid. And so Armani took a turn for the worse. And from 2015 on, we just had a rough time, doing bad things, getting involved with the jail and juvenile detention. He went to Glen Mills for 2 years, came out of there, came home, and then caught this case, which was a drug deal gone bad, and went to prison for 8 years, got out on his first parole. His first parole was July 6th of 2022. Came to live in Oscoda with me, got a job at Phoenix. I live on an old Air Force base in Oscoda, Michigan. And then he went to work for Standard Cooper, and he was going to community college in Alpena, which is an hour north of us. He had just got engaged after the holidays and his birthday on November 27th, and was ready to get out parole in another year and a half and ready to move on. I guess the biggest thing I'm going to miss is that big, huge smile.
Exactly. Now, I want to make this clear. Me and Lorrie spoke today, and Lorrie is not on Peachy Tea Time today to fake the funk. She's not on here trying to say that Marley, Armani was the perfect child. He didn't do anything wrong. We are on here for one reason and one reason only, y'all, and that's to bring awareness. That's what we're on here for, to bring awareness and also to help find justice for these three young men. Okay, we're not here to place the blame on anybody or anything like that. We are just here to tell y'all what she knows and what she can say, and tell y'all the story that's already been brought out into the whole YouTube community world and social media. Okay, I want to make sure I say that, Miss Lorrie. Now, you said that, he was doing good, great child. Things turned for the worse, took a turn for the worse. He got into some trouble, which was a drug deal going bad, and then he ended up doing 8 years in prison.
Yes.
While he was in prison, because like we said, y'all, this runs deep. While he was in prison, before he went to prison, let's say that, before he went to prison, was he in any type of gang activity or anything like that that you was aware of? You froze. Miss Lorrie, you froze. Okay, Lorrie, if you can hear me, I want you
That
to
I
come
knew
down.
of. Nothing.
There you go.
Yep.
There you
go. Excuse me. Not aware of. Nothing that I knew of. Nothing that I knew was in little, like, every day with a new bike. I know he stole it. It wasn't his bike. I mean, where do you get 10 different bikes in 10 different days? I mean, we were keeping track of it. He did do time in the detention center. They, let him go. But I mean, to be honest with you, not that I seen, now that I look back at all the times he was locked up and he was in, I don't know, what do you call it, solitary confinement or whatever else. I use it as a timeout. That I don't know what they call it. But now that I think about all the times in the 8 years that he's been locked up, that now it makes sense why his ass was not hurt or being, I don't know what I would say, beat up or, messed with, is because I didn't know he was in the Bloods in prison. I didn't know that he was a big dog in Baraga. He never, ever exposed none of that to me. I'm not people think that because he likes red, that's because he was a blood. He liked red from day one. I mean, my other son likes blue, so is he a Crip? No, I don't believe that, but I believe that he was somebody big, high up. I'm getting letters day after day of inmates sending me their condolences and saying they're sorry, and they're all from Baraga. And I feel men that call me, grown men, calling me throughout this whole process of worrying about Armani. So obviously he was loved. He wasn't that bad of a person. I thought for sure he'd die in prison because he was 18 when he went in. He was a little baby. He was young, wet behind the ears. He didn't know what he got himself into. And I think the same thing happened with this whole 3 guys in the video and all that mass thing. I mean, I seen some of his podcasts, but I didn't ever think it was that deep until I seen bits and pieces. You know how many times that's been sent to me? Over 1,000.
Okay, y'all. So what Lori is talking about is when Armani got out. Armani, how long? Armani was only out for like 8 months, 7 or 8 months, correct? Before he
Yep,
was murdered.
almost 8.
Almost 8 months. Okay, that he was
Yep.
out of prison from 8 years,
Yes.
and he was only out for almost 8 months before he was murdered. Okay, so when Armani got out, Armani decided that he would not. It wasn't right away, right?
No.
Okay, not right away, but he decided that he was
About
going
a
to start a
month
podcast.
or so.
About a month.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. About a month after. So Armani decided to start a podcast. And the podcast was about the prison, when he was in prison. From 18 up until, how old was he when he got out?
He was 22.
22. So from that period of time.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. He ain't 22. He was 26 when he got out, and he just turned 27 this past November. So he was 26 and then turned 27. Yes, I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm thinking 22. My head is full of congestion. Sorry.
That's okay. We understand, Lori. So he was 20. So from 18 to 26, that's all he knew. So he gets out, and this is what he talks about. Okay. And I have taken the time to listen and watch his videos. A lot of the things that he said, he was just bold. He was bold. No other way to say it. He told names. He told certain events and things that happened while what he saw and things that he heard. That's what he did. Do I think that was something he should have done? No, not at all. Me and Lori spoke on this. Lori, please let everyone know, because this was one of the main things that was floating around social media. Social media was if you knew about this podcast, and did you mention anything to him about stopping the podcast?
No, never mentioned it. Saw some of them, didn't see the one that in details the 3 other men who now are MIA, but did I see it afterwards? Yes, when I got to Warren, Michigan on the 23rd, yes, people started sending it to me. This is why he's missing. But then you have to realize it took a whole week for anybody to even think about, oh, maybe she's for real. They thought he was laying up in them apartment complexes where they found the car the second time it moved. That's when they, then of course it takes a week later for them to finally give me a detective and decide to take it for seriously. But no, I seen podcasts, but never the one with all the guys with the hooded mask. That I didn't see until I was already in Warren.
Okay. And we're going to get into that, y'all. We're going to get into that. We're not going to rush this show tonight. That's what we're not going to do unless Miss Lori just got to go. Okay. But we do have everything broken down in order just as well. So let's get started, Miss Lori, okay, with some few clips. Here we go. We got to get into our fair usage first.
Warning. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video disc under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 USC 107.
Let's talk about real life issues, love and relationships. Let's have a good time with the missus.
Armani Kelly was just 27 years old. He traveled from Lansing here to Detroit to perform at Lounge 31 off of Gratiot and 7 Mile. But like you mentioned, that performance was canceled, and now Kelly and the two friends he drove here with are missing. And we spoke to Kelly's mother, who now fears for the worst. January 21st, Armani Kelly, who goes by the stage name Marley was scheduled to perform at This Night Lounge in Detroit. He texted his fiancée that night that the show was canceled, and no one has seen or heard from him since.
I don't want to be Dateline and wait 20 years to find his body.
His mother, Lorrie Kemp, posting flyers around Lansing, where Armani grew up, searching for her son and tracking his car, which shows it moved 3 times in Warren and ended up in this condo complex. The vehicle now in police custody.
I'm doing everything I possibly can. I'm out there hitting the roads, hitting the pavement. Where is the police department? They didn't do their job.
Kemp feels there was no sense of urgency from authorities to find her son until police agencies in multiple jurisdictions realized 2 other men were missing, Dante Wicker and Montoya Givens, also aspiring rappers who rode with Armani to the show.
The fact that the 3 of them are missing together is very concerning and very alarming for us.
Detroit police investigating but have not disclosed if they have any leads. Kemp fears the worst.
I'm angry because you did 8 years in prison and you didn't die, and now you come out and they kill you. He's dead.
So hard to hear the mother say those words. She does fear, unfortunately, that her son is dead, but we don't know that. That's why police and those families are asking anyone with information to come forward. So if you know anything, please call Detroit Police. Live in Detroit, I'm Kira Hay, 7 Action News.
Yeah, she wants some answers. She wants to see her son back and all 3 of those men. Kira, thank you.
Okay, Lori, let's start from the beginning. So your son Armani asked you to borrow your car, or what happened?
It's my husband's car. We got a new car in December. My car took a dump. He asked to borrow the car. I told him it wasn't my car because I personally would have said no. My husband let him borrow the car to go to do a gig on the 21st. He left at 11 a.m. I was running up and down the stairs doing laundry, and we just, deuces, see you, have a good show. All right. I said, make sure you bring that car back before Monday morning at 8 o'clock. Mom, I'll be home on Sunday in the evening, in the afternoon, or early morning. I'm not going to stay. Okay. Bye. Got a phone call at 5 p.m. saying he made it there. He left a message. Did I ever know that's the last time I'm going to hear his voice say, Mom, I made it here? No. Deleted. I'm a delete person. I delete everything. So then comes 9 o'clock. Then I hear from Taylor, which is his fiance, saying, hey, I ain't heard from Armani. Armani's not answering. So I started texting, doing all that. But I said, you know what? Give him his time. He's probably got his phone off. He's doing his gig. We don't know what's going on. So just give him that time. Well, then the next day comes. This is Sunday. So we're talking the 22nd. Then Armani, no calls, no phone calls. Now it's, I don't know, noon. I'm not worried. I asked my husband, what do you think? No, give him some time. 6 o'clock rolls around. Now Taylor's blowing up my phone. Then my husband, I'm asking him, it's 6 o'clock Sunday night. He ain't home. He goes,
So
you know what?
Give him Taylor. Did he call Taylor and say that it was
Taylor
canceled?
said she did talk to him after 5, but I thought she had said she talked to him at 7:30. But when we get into this deeper, I'm going to tell you how this timeline kind of stretches out to where the point now it makes me think different things because now Taylor doesn't talk to him. So now it's Monday morning, 7 a.m. I call Detroit police. I told them where my son was supposed to be at because, of course, I see the flyer on his Facebook and I tell them the exact address. They told me that, there's nothing they can do. I talked to a Sergeant Anderson. He told me he would send police over to that area to see if they saw one or any of the vehicle that I'm talking about, which would have been the 2017 Equinox, which, like I told you, it's brand new car to us. We don't have nothing in it. Not much is in it. Armani left with black pants, black shirt, red bandana, Carhartt, and a little string backpack that my husband said he had a mic, toothbrush, toothpaste, and his IDs and whatever else he had, debit card or credit card. That's it. So now we're going on the 22nd, 23rd. I already called. Police told me call over here in Oscoda, the last place I saw him. Went there, did a missing report, got a copy. Here calls Taylor, I'm coming to get you. She called me in the afternoon. By the time she got here, it was 7. We left Oscoda at 7. You have to realize she lives over by Lake Michigan. So she drove from one side of Michigan to the other side of Michigan to come get me. And then we drove to Warren, Michigan, because at 7 o'clock, this in the AM, my husband says, "What about OnStar?" I go, "What about OnStar?" He goes, "We had a tutorial for like an hour after we bought the car about OnStar." I said, "Joe, I don't think it's on my phone." So he picks up his phone, picks up Armani's. They had just got this clunker car put in both of their names because we needed 2 cars. So the clunker car had Armani's ID on it. Joe, my husband, had the ID. He took the ID and wrote OnStar information, called OnStar, gave me the phone, and that's how we found the car in Warren, Michigan. That's why we went to Warren, because it was at the Life Church. I think that's the name of it. Life Church. I'm not sure the exact, but it's at Life Church in Warren, Michigan. We went there and we got there at 11:30. No car. We went straight to the Warren Police Department. They in turn told us the car was there. Well, now it's been moved. So they're watching it from across the street at the Huntington Apartments on Imperial Drive in Warren. We drive up there to check on them. After we did a police report with the lady who was the most attentive lady, she called the detention center. She called a couple of the main hospitals that are affiliated to other hospitals for us. Then she referred us to go. We finally found the guys from Warren that were watching the car across the street from the Huntington Apartments. They said that they could not watch the car 24/7 because they're short-staffed. We were more than welcome to watch surveil our own vehicle. So at that time, we go back to the motel. I stay at the motel, start working with the lady at the front desk on open mic places around the area of Lounge 31. In turn, then they come back. We go back out at 5 o'clock to the surveillance area at Huntington Apartments across the street. And come to find out, the police said, "Nah, nothing's going on. Why don't you come back, when you wake up in the morning and come get your car?" So we decide, okay, Taylor's sleeping because she took the first shift. I took the last shift. I asked her mom, "Will you drive me to the car?" We drive back to Huntington Apartments, no car. Now this is 9:30 in the morning on the 24th. That's when we went back to the Warren Police Department and said, "Where's my vehicle?" That's when I was told, "You don't know your son. You don't know what he's like. He's a gangbanger, drug dealer, and felon." And she started screaming at me saying, "What do you want me to do?" I said, "I want you to find my effing car and my son." She's, "You don't know your son." I said, "Okay, just send me where the records are," because I wanted a police report of what I had done the night before. Now, mind you, the whole time, I have somebody there listening to everything she's saying to me, which is Michelle Wicker, which is Taylor Perrin's mother. So that's Armani's fiance and mother-in-law to be. So we go back to the motel. I call OnStar. OnStar says, "F the police. we're calling Detroit police. That's when they send me another gentleman, who's the gentleman on one of my little pieces of paper. That's the one that finally took me seriously and finally decided, hey, something's going on. If the car's moving, where's the kid? Where's the guy that's supposed to be in the car? Would you give your keys? Would he get? No, I know my son wouldn't give my keys to anybody. That's where the next step begins. When this gentleman, I thought they were going to send me a Detroit police. No, they sent me a Warren police. This young man came out, took the police report. Of course, I'm pissed because now my car moved twice. Okay. And they still wouldn't pick it up. When I called them at 7 a.m. from Oscoda, Michigan, and asked them, will you pick up the car? That's not our jurisdiction. That's Oscoda police jurisdiction. But my car is in your city. No, we won't do it. It's a missing person, not a missing car. Well, then this gentleman took our police report. Now, mind you, while he took it, there was an altercation down the street. He had to leave. I said, should we wait for you? He said, no, go ahead and do what you're going to do, and I'll get back with you. He takes my phone, talks to OnStar. OnStar won't directly tell me a lot of information because now it's a missing person. Now the car is involved. This gentleman, which I don't have his information with me, and I'm sorry, I should have had all this together for you at this time, but I wasn't thinking about paperwork because let me tell you, I have one of them accordion folders with all my papers. I took notes on top of notes on top of notes. And you want to know why? Because the police Sergeant Jones asked me, will you look back on your notes for this, that, and the other, which I did, and I have to this day. I just need to be organized where somebody can write it down for me and put it in a scenario as if we were writing a story, because that's what it feels like. It's surreal. It's not real. That you couldn't make this up if you wanted to. You, I, and your husband couldn't make this up. We couldn't make this
Now,
any better.
exactly. Now,
Excuse me.
oh, you're fine. So, from the time that you started this story up until when you just ended, were you aware that Armani had Dante and Montoya with him at this moment?
Never did I know there was two other young men with him.
Okay.
Never did he tell me he was picking up Dante, Montoya, or anybody else. I just know that from that video that we saw that he said, I'm going to bring Jug. And the guy says, Jug? Why you bringing Jug? Jug don't got no paper. To me, that meant Jug don't have no money. Armani had barely $100. I asked Taylor this today because I had to go do paperwork for him on his accounts. And I asked her, did he even get paid? Did he have money? Because he was supposed to get paid the 21st. But we knew he was limited because he told me he barely had $100 with him. And I think it was $20 to roll up to that place to do that open mic thing. Because I know that it said, if you look on the top of his thing, it says $20 to enter, something
Yes,
about
we do
$20.
have. I was gonna ask you, was this the flyer?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is
Isn't
the
it funny
flyer,
that
y'all.
just think though, that flyer is nowhere else to be found but on Armani's page. That's it.
Wow. Now this is the flyer that was supposedly have been put out, and Armani was supposed to go and perform at Lounge 31 in Detroit, Michigan. So this is the flyer. No one knows who created this flyer. No one knows nothing about this flyer. Except
Exactly.
for the people that has located this flyer. Okay. So we're gonna take that down. Now we are about to get into another video. This is the video. This was supposedly his last video, his last live video. Lori knows I'm about to play this video. I've asked her, I've told Lori that my husband said, no, we probably shouldn't play. But Lori stands firm on what she says and what y'all have heard in these news broadcasts. Okay. She's a mother. At the end of the day, she's a mama. So we're gonna go ahead. We're not gonna play the whole thing because it's fairly long, but there are a couple clips that I do want to play out of it. So here we go.
running that bitch though. I be feeling like I falling behind. I got some new shit
Keep,
out. That shit. Listen,
just keep doing what you're
hey,
doing. Niggas gonna
hey,
start paying attention to that
what's
shit slowly
his
but
name?
surely. You get the
Hey,
feel me?
Sco, you say man, I'm trying to pull up at your shit or some shit, cause I'm gonna end up picking up Jud, man. I'm gonna say East Warren shit. Who? I said I'm gonna end up picking up Jud.
You about to when you come down there?
Yeah.
You gonna pick up Jud?
Yeah, 9 times, man. I ain't gonna leave that nigga sitting around.
Nigga, pick him up, then. Shit,
I got to.
You can pick him up. You gonna get there.
No, I'm saying, be real with you, bro. That's my baby. I love Jud, but I don't think he got the money to get in nowhere. So I'm gonna just pay for Jud.
Fall back on my man.
That's my baby.
Nigga, what type of time you on, man?
Man, listen, ain't no solider nigga than Jud. He just be broke.
Man.
But what are you?
Huh? Broke as fuck, nigga, but I'm good at balancing my budget.
All I know is this, dog. If you ain't on this, bro, leave me alone, bro.
What is it?
Call of Duty, bitch. Get on it.
Nigga, I don't be playing. I don't got time to be playing games,
I'm
nigga.
talking about real
I'm outside with it, nigga.
I'm talking about real black.
I'm playing real life, nigga. I'm not on the game with this real life shit.
Real black.
Nigga, I'm not. This not GTA, nigga. I'm playing real life. I'm out here making moves and shit, nigga. I ain't got time for that. Talking about
all blackouts over here,
this
bro. We
nigga,
don't do nothing there.
You still playing? Shoot 'em up, bang bang?
No, in real life though. That shit really became real life.
Oh man, these niggas are shit.
We gonna touch the shoot 'em up, bang bang money too. So you gonna put that on your next scene? I mean, on your next
So,
you know,
if you
on
go,
your podcast.
Bro, if you go up, nigga, if you win, nigga, I'ma just be a supporter.
You can do the bang bang shit. I be telling people about the bang bang shit.
You'll be Supreme, right? And I'll be Ja Rule out there singing and dancing and shit. Like, hey.
Bro, see, that's why everything go left. Every time, bro. It's a room full of gangsters and you are on this bitch playing.
Why not? I be living my life. I be living my life, though.
I'm just living my life.
Living my life. But nigga, I was just in that. We was all just, he was just in that bitch. That nigga was just in that bitch. My nigga, that shit be what's up, bro.
What the fuck is that?
Ooh.
I don't know. What is it? Lean back. Lean back. What the fuck?
Nigga, this is just a scarf, bro. Don't do that. Don't do that. Hell no. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. No, sir. No, sir. No, nigga. That shit was for swag. That shit was for sauce. Don't do that. Don't do that. That shit was for sauce, nigga.
I'm saying though, like,
don't do.
Come on, man. You moving bold as hell over there. That's that VVM shit.
Oh, he said it.
That's that bad guy shit.
That's oh yeah.
I'm saying though, you putting on for them niggas.
I almost put my mask up.
Niggas need to give you a violation.
No, sir.
Damn. You got violation coming. Next time I watch your podcast, man, you better have a fat eye.
Nigga, next time I see your post, the next post, y'all better post my
got your ass beat for that and joint.
Who?
Tell niggas how you would have got a big violation for that. You would have had a big fat eye.
Big red
eye.
Nigga,
do you know who you talking to?
Big red eye.
Bro, go get it. Let me see.
I'm double certified.
Oh, you put the real one on? You put the real
one. Double certified. I'm double certified.
Back up. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring myself down. Hold on. Okay. So that right there is what set off social media, really. You know, the fact that it was 3 black men that's missing. You know, we started putting it out then. But when that video hit the airwaves, baby, social media went crazy with this video. And like I said, it was more to the video. It was more to it, but we don't have time to play the whole thing. But I will say this. It seems to me the vibe was just off. Completely off with those 2 guys. I don't know why Armani didn't catch that. I don't know why. But the vibe was definitely off. Like they definitely
they were
seemed suspect.
They were supposed to
some
be
way
homies
somehow
too. They were supposed to be homies too. That's why he didn't pay it no attention. But at the
Exactly.
same time, he should have been listening. Because, like I just heard him say, when we see you, you catching that fade.
That's what they said. Now, are we saying they did it? No, because we don't know. Lori don't know. I don't know. Y'all don't know. Julio don't know. Don't nobody know except for the people that was there and the Lord up above and the devil. I'm sure the devil know too. But those are the only people that know at this moment, unless they done told somebody. Lori, as we spoke on that, people do talk. They do talk, and I agree. If you know something, please say something.
So how long was that video? How long was that video put out before he left to do his show?
Are you
I
froze,
think
Lori? I know she was
I
froze.
don't think it was put out there. I just think people found it on his page after he came up missing. So he did it, I want to say 2 or 3 days before he went missing, but it was 2 or 3 days before the 21st when he was supposed to do the gig in Detroit. So I'm as soon as I would say the 23rd, 24th, maybe 25th. My first interview was with Gino Vici, and it was the 23rd, 24th, 25th, 27th. And the 27th, not that day, but that night, which would go into the 28th, is when I got the first call from Dante Wicker's mother saying he has been missing and that she called Melvindale police 2 days prior to that, and they told her she had to wait 48 hours. I told her, HLL, no, hang up for me and call 911 as soon as we hang up. I didn't know there was a Dante Wicker. Then, not until I want to say that Monday or Tuesday is when Montoya Givens came up missing. And then that's probably when I went MIA. If you look at my line, day 8 is when I left off. That must have been when Montoya uh, Givens came up, and then I stopped social media because I was running from one side of the state to the other. Whoever would take any kind of interview, anything that they would do for me. The open the door was the lady from Toledo, Ohio, who did the TikTok video for us. She's the first person besides you, her, and Gino Vici are the only 3 that reached out that actually believed me before the police believed me. That's how this started to get out, because one person showed one person who showed another. And like I said, in each and every interview I had, somebody knows somebody who knows something. And look, here we go.
Yep. Here we go.
3 men are arrested and 3 men are missing. And
Exactly.
now there's only 2 arrested, and we don't know who they are, where they're at, or nothing. First, it was the 15-year-old. And the funny thing is, I went canvassing the weekend after they arrested him, and the 2 ladies at that condo complex where it was found, the last place my car was found, which was in Park 36, parked in backwards, plate taken off, and mud around my car. That's when the old ladies told me that they arrested a young, and they told me he was anywhere between 13 and 17. I find out he's 15 in that complex who had the car, which my idea was there's a gas can in there. They told him to burn it, and he went joyriding, and he got caught. Then comes the next person. That comes the next person who they arrest, which is a man on a Thursday that states that he's from Detroit. But Warren police told me, but didn't tell me that Detroit wouldn't give them information.
Wow. Well, we got another clip that we're gonna get into, but I want to show you this. Someone just sent me this, Lori. Someone just sent me this literally just now, and I hurried up and downloaded while you was talking. But they just sent this to me. Armani, long live a big piece of my heart, lives in heaven.
That's very
So,
beautiful. Thank you.
thank you, Sierra. That was from Sierra. Thank you, darling. Now we're gonna go ahead and get into another clip. So we brought you to the 15-year-old, y'all. How the 15-year-old ended up having the car. How he got the car, we still don't know. but he ended up with the car, had a gas tank in there, a gas can in there, and they found him and the car at an apartment complex. So
Yes, ma'am.
that's where we ended off. So let's go ahead and get into this next clip.
Tonight, Michigan State Police positively identified the 3 bodies.
Are waiting for those answers right now, Brandon and Ryan. I can tell you that investigators, they are expected to update us on the situation anytime. As you know, Detroit Police, Michigan State Police, Warren Police, and a number of other agencies, they have been working very closely on this, working very closely together with that big break happening yesterday when those bodies were found in Highland Park.
I'm not going to say I think. No, my God, the heart is gone.
Chilling words considering recent events days before 3 bodies were found Thursday inside the basement of this abandoned apartment complex in Highland Park. The mother of Armani Kelly told Fox 2 she had a feeling this is how things would end. While investigators are still working to confirm the victims' identities and their cause of death, our sources say it is Kelly, along with his friends Dante Wicker and Montoya Givens.
We were able to pull phone data and see that there's no activity on any of their phones. They're not hitting any towers. They're not communicating. That's also very concerning.
The 3 men had not been heard from or seen since January 21st, almost 2 weeks ago, which is out of character for them. Kelly, who is an up-and-coming rapper from Oscoda, was set to perform at the Lounge 31 on Detroit's east side, but it was canceled reportedly due to equipment issues. A few days later, his car was found in Warren and a 15-year-old taken into custody at that time.
The mother of one of the victims the next day made a report of the missing person. That mother became very proactive in the investigation and started searching for her vehicle through OnStar.
Then yesterday, another big break in the investigation when, according to a Michigan State Police tweet, multiple victims were found in this apartment building near Log Cabin and McNichols on the Highland Park-Detroit border. We're told crews cleared that property at about 5:30 this morning. The poor conditions inside, along with an infestation of rats, slowing that effort. Now the wait for answers.
Somebody knows something. Somebody will speak. I don't know when, I don't know where, but it will come out.
So I can tell you that 15-year-old from Warren, he was charged in connection with having Armani Kelly's car. So there could be much more to that. We are told that a judge did revoke his bond. He does remain in custody at this hour. Our sources, they are also telling us that police are talking to a person of interest that was arrested following some sort of a raid in Detroit. So again, that is something else that could develop throughout the day. Our Jessica Dupnack, she is going to be following up on this, and of course she will have the very latest information for you.
Tonight, Michigan State Police positively identified the 3 bodies found in a Highland Park apartment complex as the 3 missing rappers.
Armani Kelly, Montoya Givens, and Dante Wicker were all headed to a planned performance at a club on Detroit's east side, but that performance was canceled and they were never seen or heard from again. Let's get to Sean Lay. He's live for us tonight. Sean, is there any word on the cause of death?
We are hearing possible gunshot wounds, but that has not yet been confirmed because the state of the bodies, autopsies may take 2 days. Been talking to the brother of Montoya Givens. He's absolutely in shock tonight. I want to give everyone a look of where investigators have been coming and going, where these bodies were found in this vacant, boarded up apartment building here. Investigators telling me they believe the men came here, were killed here upstairs, and then their bodies concealed in the basement. And right now we know that a 15-year-old is being held without bond in connection to this, but police are moving quickly to arrest others. Local 4 cameras are here in Highland Park at the scene of a horrific triple homicide. And you can see Michigan State Police investigators are here this afternoon. 3 bodies were discovered in an abandoned portion of this building at McNichols and Log Cabin yesterday. Bodies concealed under piles of debris and construction materials. Now, it has been confirmed the bodies have been identified as the 3 missing friends, aspiring rappers, Armani Kelly, Dante Wicker, Montoya Givens, all on their way to perform at a Detroit club January 21st, but never heard from again. It's unclear what or who led the men to this rat-infested building. What is clear, the homicides and the concealing of the bodies all happened inside this building.
The whole scene is confined in that building. The scene where the homicide took place and where the bodies were left. So everything is in that area. That is the crime scene.
A huge part that led to the break in this case on January 25th. Warren police recovered a stolen car. They discovered it belonged to Armani Kelly. Warren investigators then tracked the suspected car thief, a 15-year-old Warren teen. That led to information about this building in Highland Park and the bodies. Detroit police were told where to look, and they found the 3 missing men. Back here live, the state of the bodies apparently.
All right, y'all. So we are back. I had to leave this message up here. Lorrie got the whole country to pay attention. Barbara, you are so right. Yeah. You are so right. And we're paying attention because she's a mother that took steps.
I was about to say that.
You was gonna say that too, baby? You can
Not just taking steps, but actually looking for justice. You know, some people, once you get told no or wait, sit down, hold on, we'll be right with you, we'll give you a call, you kind of trust them and you sit back and, you know what I'm saying, let things go. And nothing ever happens. And then when they do give you a call, it's like they ain't telling you nothing.
Exactly.
You know, and sometimes it takes what Lorrie is doing to get something done. Because I'm sorry, if it wasn't for her putting it out there, because we saw it.
Yeah.
And when we saw it, we jumped.
Yeah, we jumped on it.
Well, and not just did the people from Michigan nor the United States. I had people calling me from London, Australia, and Scotland, reaching out to me saying how they have heard this and seen it and have, it made it worldwide. People calling me from other states that I didn't even know that had saw it. Like the neighbor across the street lives in Arizona. Her daughter reached out to me and said she didn't even know Armani was missing until she saw that. People, my stepsister from California called me, my stepbrothers from all over the United States. But what got me the most was people reaching out from other countries stating to me they've heard, they've seen, they're, praying for me and the other mothers. And this is before they even came out that they were deceased and that they found them in Highland Park.
See, we know what we know. We know what we know. We know our children. We know our family members. We know how they move. So if I say they're missing, I don't care if it's only been 8 hours.
Yeah.
They're missing.
I agree.
Oh, no, we have to wait 48 hours before you apply for a missing person. So what bothers me there, and excuse me, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I don't like that they made Dante Wicker's mom not 48 hours, but double 48 hours. They made her wait 4 days before they even took her initial thing seriously, which made me mad. And that's why I screamed at them to hang up and call 911, because how are you going to tell her if her son was missing 2 days ago, now you're going to tell her to wait 2 more days? That to me was not feasible. That was Melvindale Police. Yeah, Melvindale Police. Do you want to know what Oscoda Police told me? Since you found your car, take your car and go home. I said I ain't leaving until I find my son. That's what the detective, or I don't know what you want to call him, up here told me. Sergeant Hall, I think is his name. Hall told me, go home, get your car and go home. I'm not going home. My husband told me to go home. My other son told me he was worried for my welfare. My brother said, you can't stay there forever. I'm not leaving until I have my son. And I don't care if it would have took me a year. I'd have made a way to make ends meet, to be there, to keep facing and going down the paths. Did I know I was in the red zone when I was passing out flyers? Hell no. I didn't know that. I didn't even know a red zone existed. I didn't know what that was.
You just
But
looking
people
for your
had my
job.
back. But people had my back in the red zone. Ma'am, when it's dusk, you need to go home. Okay, I will. I had maybe 20, 25 flyers left. I was standing across the street from Lounge 31 at Mike's Market, I think it was. And there was a plaza through there. I went up and down there on the snowiest day. But guess what? This lady came up to me, a very small, petite United States postal worker, and said, "How many more? When are you leaving, ma'am?" I said, "I'm leaving when I'm done with these flyers." She said, "I got you." She took them and said, "It's time for you to go home." The guys that were up and down that plaza told me, "This is blood territory. We're Bloods. Ma'am, at dusk, your kind are not welcome here. You need to go home." So I took heed to it. But did I know I was in danger? No, never once. Did I care? No. What were they going to do to me? The same thing they did to my son and the two other boys. At this moment, I don't care no more. I want justice, and not just for my son, but the other two young men. I don't know who to trust. I don't know who to believe. I don't know what to believe. But all I do is keep going, because till the day I die, I'm going to find justice. I want that building torn down, and I want that club closed down for
You
life.
better
That's
say
my
it.
goal.
You better say it, girl. Look, Candace said, Lorrie ain't come to play with y'all. She is not coming to play with y'all. You right about that, Candace. She ain't here to play. Now let's get into
That's
some
my
more
people.
comments. Let's get into some more comments. Miss Joyce. Joyce said, did a forensic specialist go to the building to collect evidence to tie someone to this crime scene?
I think so, because the fact is, when I want to go to the site to put flowers or balloons, I was told that I would be arrested if I went there, because that is a crime scene and they are taking their time to get everything they need. The same thing happened with my vehicle, and the same thing happened with all of their belongings that was on them. I'll never get none of it back, I was told, because it's evidence for life. Just like the black box is gone for life. They tore that car apart. You know, we're $2,000 in the negative now after the car was taken by the insurance company. Nobody's going to replace that $2,000. So now we're in the negative going into another car. But that's nor here nor there. I guess the way I look at it is, if it wasn't for my husband and us going through that tutorial of OnStar, and for him to think twice, OnStar is the one that found the car, who found the 15-year-old, who found the next gentleman who was cleaning the car, to found the next person who they have arrested in Knoxville, Tennessee, who has now all this. You should have seen the car. It was trashed. But I understand now why they spend so much time, because on TV, it looks like they do it in less than 10 to 12 hours. Actually, it takes almost 2 to 5 days to do something like that, just for one DNA. So can you imagine how much was in there? How many people were in the car? How many people that take? Where did the car go from here today? They tried to say my son was laid up in that apartment complex. He was not laid up in that apartment complex. I know my son. He wouldn't have done me like that. He wouldn't have done Taylor like that. And he sure would have never wanted to hear my mouth about not bringing my car, because he was screwing around, because I really thought I was going down there to whip his ass, bring him home by his ears, and pull some of them dreads out of his head and say, "What the hell were you doing?" Nope, it didn't turn out that way. But did I know that he was dead? In my gut. But as time went by, in my heart, I knew it. And that was the hardest part, is to try to find. I didn't want to be on Dateline 20 years from now trying to find out where the bodies are. And I'm glad for that. At least we all have closure. Now the next closure is to get whoever did this. And I believe that it's way up top, and it's bigger and broader than we all believe. This is bigger than we know. And I don't know if we'll ever know the honest to God truth, but I'm going to work for it. I'm going to try. I'm going to do my damnedest until I don't have another breath left to find out what happened. To get justice. Somebody has to.
You're right. She is right. And now let's get into this. There's two different stories that's going on right now, y'all, out there in social media world. It could be this possibly that got them killed, or it could be this that has gotten them killed, murdered. Okay, and Lori already knows what I'm about to show you guys. Montoya, if you look up above Lori on your background, on the background of the screen, you'll see Montoya. Montoya did 10 years. 10 years. He did 10 years in prison, and he was out for 10 months, if I'm not mistaken. You know, everything is allegedly. But he was out for like 10 months. And before he got murdered with the three guys. And what was he locked up for? Well, I'm going to show you guys right now. Here we go.
Tonight, the mother of one of the three rappers found dead in an abandoned apartment complex is speaking out through her heartbreak.
Montoya Givens was supposed to perform at a club on Detroit's East Side along with two friends, but that performance was canceled and they were never seen or heard from again. Sean Lay spoke to Montoya's mother today. Sean, understandably, she's got a lot of questions.
A lot of questions with the killers presumably still out there. And look, this is the first time we're hearing from the mother of Montoya Givens, but we're hearing from her on the phone because with the killers still out there, she's scared.
I feel numb right now. I feel very numb. And it's sad that people is judging these boys for crimes that they have already committed.
That's the voice of Katina Fogel. She's the mother of Montoya Givens, one of three friends, aspiring rappers who went missing on their way to a performance 2 weeks ago. The bodies of Givens, along with Armani Kelly and Dante Wicker, were found late last week in the basement of a vacant Highland Park apartment building. Fogel says she does not know why her son would be targeted. He recently got out of prison doing 10 years for the well-publicized carjacking of Pastor Marvin Winans. Fogel says her son was getting his life on track after prison, and now he's gone.
Have you learned anything more about what exactly happened to Montoya?
No, I know what y'all been putting out there. And I have not been watching no news. I have not been on social media. All I know is my son was found in an apartment building and dead. I'm just not hearing about over the airwaves about them finding, I guess, 2 or 3 people that's supposed to be involved. I have no clue.
We're speaking to Fogel on the phone today because she has no idea who killed her son and his friends. She's scared and protecting herself and protecting her family.
What everybody is saying is gang related. I don't know if it's gang related or not. I'm just taking precautions to protect my family.
And with the discovery of her son and her 2 friends in Highland Park late last Thursday night, this really feels like the beginning now of this investigation. Keep in mind, Kimberly Devin, a 15-year-old is being held without bond in Warren with a stolen car of one of the victims, but possibly in connection with the homicides. Others were told being questioned, but MSP says today no charges as of yet, something to keep a very close eye on. We're live tonight. Sean Lee, Local 4.
So many unanswered questions. Okay, Sean.
All right, y'all. Now, I went snooping because I know y'all heard Pastor Marvin Winans in there. You know, he got robbed by Montoya up there in the corner. Montoya and his homeboys, not Armani and not Dante. But this was his other homeboys back in the day. So this was the news broadcast back in the day, 10 years ago.
10 years prior.
10 years prior with Pastor Marvin Winans. Y'all, that BBCC. That BBCC, brother. Here we go.
And Rob. 7 Action News reporter Tom Wade joins us live. And Tom, we watched you talk to Pastor Winans just right after this happened. He seemed pretty disappointed by it.
Disappointed indeed, Stephen and Diana, but he says, it doesn't matter who you are in this city. Anyone can be a victim, but he says he's not going to be afraid in his own neighborhood and in his own city. Take a live look. There are a small army of police officers and detectives here at this gas station at Lidwood and the Davison in Detroit. They are trying to piece this all together. As we have been here for the past hour, we have some other video to show you. Basically, Pastor Winans came here to this gas station on his way somewhere else. He got out of his car, went inside to pay. When he came back out, he says 2 guys started to beat and rob him.
pumping the gas, aware, looking. One guy wouldn't walk completely around the gas tank, and I knew he was there. And I said, this really ain't gonna happen. This is not gonna go down, you know? And it went down. The guy just stepped up, hit me. I backed up, and the other one came from around. And I just started calling on the name of the Lord.
Did they knock you to the ground? I mean, they tore up your pants.
They knocked me to the ground, scarred up my knees, and they were trying to get it. And then they went to kicking me.
Tore your pants off?
They can't be worn again. They trying to get the money out of my pocket and just, tore the pants up. I said, I'm not going to be afraid of us. I'm not going to be afraid of our sons and do
you think they knew who you were?
I don't think they did. I really don't think they did. And if they did, it didn't make much difference.
And back out here live, as I mentioned, of course, they stole his Infiniti SUV, dark purple in color. It's a four-door SUV. The license plate at this point, we believe, is 0DRT73. And I'll read that again in just a few minutes. Also, they stole his Rolex. They stole his cell phone. And I don't know if you could tell in that video, but his face was cut. He had some other bumps and bruises. He's going to get checked out. But obviously, the worst of it is over. He's going to be okay. Of course, Pastor Marvin Winans, such an incredible legacy in this city. Most recently, of course, he spoke at Whitney Houston's funeral and got national attention for that. But of course, everyone knows this man. He is a legendary past, a legendary family. And as you heard him say, this is not something that he's going to let deter him from, coming through his city, coming through his neighborhoods. He knows this community. He knows the people who live here. And he says this is not something that will stop him in the future.
All right. So that was Pastor Winans. Montoya and his friends messed with the wrong one. Because Montoya ended up getting 10 years. Did 10 years for this. And like I told y'all, he was only out for 10 months. And they was murdered. So, Lorrie, there are some people, not Lorrie, just saying, there's some people out there in social media world, think that this is the reason. I'm sorry, y'all. That this could be the reason why this ended up happening.
Karma?
I guess so. Or maybe Pastor Winans, then, because Pastor Winans probably from the hood back in the day. And Pastor Winans decided I'm going to get my peoples to go on and get them. Take them on up out of here. I'm just telling you what social media is saying. And Lorrie, you have heard these things too. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
This ain't nothing that I'm just coming up with off the top of my head.
No, they've said that. They've also said that it was Armani's fault because of that video that he put out. They also say, now my understanding is they think it's from one of the big bloods in high up in one of the prisons that ordered it. They were all obviously bloods. They all were in the red zone. Obviously, they knew that area that they were in was the red zone. They wouldn't have gone if they weren't in the red zone, I guess. I mean, Monty always wore red. Did I know he was a gangbanger in prison? No. Did I know he was a big dog in Barriga? Nope. Now, it's funny because I just recently asked, when this whole ordeal started on the 23rd, I stopped on my way back from a doctor's appointment in West Branch and stopped in Tawas to talk to his parole officer and asked her, is it true that Armani was a big wig in Barriga of blood? She said, I can try to find out. When I went to see her 2 days ago, isn't it funny? You can't find none of them three guys in Otis or in DOC. Now, they all are dead. They were all murdered. But why is there nothing on there? Why aren't they in there anymore? Now it's above her pay grade. She can't even get into any of it. So I'm going to tell you, that tells me this is bigger than we all know. Yeah. Bigger than we all think. It might not even have nothing to do with the Bloods. It may have nothing to do with Armani, Montoya, or Dante. Maybe they were collateral damage. I don't know. Nobody knows, like you said. But it's bigger than we all know. And when I told you that, I only knew bits and pieces. And now that it's start to unravel, it's like a a ball of yarn that comes on in little pieces. Like, did I know he was in the Bloods? No. Did I know he was a big dog in prison? No. Did I know why he was in solitary confinement for almost his whole 8 years in different times and different dates and different amounts? Everything starts to unravel, and it starts to be, I never said my son was perfect. I never said he was an angel. He's a felon. He's not a drug dealer. He may have been a gangbanger in prison, but not up here. People look at the statistics. You can look on YouTube. I mean, not on YouTube, but on Google Oscoda, Michigan. It's going to tell you it's predominantly white, elderly people. That's why I try to tell people he wasn't gangbanging up here. If he was gangbanging, I don't see a bunch of old people that are white that are walking around with their canes and their little hub-arounds and their walkers, got red bandanas on, singing Marley whoop music, and he's gangbanging with them and selling them what? Opioids for their arthritis? That's the only thing I can think of. People are stupid. They're just ignorant, and they just say whatever. And I don't blame Armani. I don't blame any of them. But if it was Armani's fault because of what he said, then okay, I'm sorry. He had a mouth. You know what? I taught them to be honest and to be trustworthy. Obviously, he was too trustworthy with these young men in that video. And 2, he was too honest for his own good.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. She froze for a second, child. She froze for a second.
I taught that.
Okay. So y'all, what we finna do is
say, I mean, there's so much.
Okay. It seems like you're going in and out. We can't hear you. So what we're gonna do right now, y'all, we are going
can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you a little bit now.
It froze up.
Yeah, it froze.
I can hear you.
You can hear me? Yeah, I can hear it when she said that. Okay, it's coming back through. It's coming back. I think it's back now. But what we're gonna do, Lorrie, we finna go into these last 2 clips. And then after these last 2 clips, I do have a surprise for you. Something that I do for all my families that come on. So I definitely want to show you that. Now, these are the 2 clips that got people thinking that it's Armani's fault. Okay, that Armani is the one to blame. So I showed y'all why they feel like it's Montoya's fault to blame, and this is why they're saying that it is Armani's fault to blame, which is Marley Whoop. Here we go.
Tonight, we'll be taking a closer look at crime in the city of Detroit. We begin with the story of 3 men who have been missing for more than a week. Detroit police say Armani Kelly, Dante Wicker, and Montoya Givens were supposed to perform at a club back on January 21st. Investigators say it is concerning that all 3 men's phones were turned off that night around the same time. It was our story Friday night about Kelly's disappearance that prompted the families of Givens and Wicker to file a police report. Here's our Gino Vici with more on the investigation.
It's a Facebook Live video where Armani Kelly is seen talking with 3 men 2 days before he and 2 others went missing. In that video, Armani Kelly's mother says there could be some major clues.
It has to do with that video.
Lorrie Kemp is talking about this Facebook Live video on her son's Facebook page, where 27-year-old Armani Kelly at one point is arguing with 3 men 2 days before he went missing.
Wow, who you playing with, boy?
During the conversation, Kelly mentions he's going to meet up with the 3 men and bring Jug, a nickname for Montoya Givens. Givens, Dante Wicker, and Kelly have been missing for 11 days.
You gonna pick up Jug? Yeah.
The 3 men were supposed to perform here at Lounge 31 in Detroit on the night of January 21st, but the show was canceled. Kelly, Givens, and Wicker haven't been seen since. Back to the video, the men speaking with Kelly appear to be upset about something he said online recently.
You gonna put that on your next scene? I mean, on your next go.
If you on your podcast. But Kelly still suggests he wanted to meet up with them.
You say a week, man. I'm trying to pull up.
Kemp has since tracked her son's vehicle to 3 locations in Warren, gotten thousands of messages on Facebook. She says she feels a lot closer to getting answers, but still very far away from knowing exactly what happened to her son.
People are telling me to watch my back, and I don't care. They keep saying I keep poking the bear. I'm going to continue to poke the bear until they find my son's body.
Of course, there is no indication from police there is any connection between that video and the men's disappearance. Police say they are aware of that video. Right now, they say they have no suspects and no arrests have been made. In Detroit, I'm Gino Vici.
Gino joins us now tonight to discuss this more. So the Facebook video is a huge part of your story today. Police have not confirmed if it's related to the three men's disappearance, but they do know about it, and they seem to have more questions about it.
They definitely do. You know, this video, again, you mentioned there's been no confirmation that there's any connection between that video and the disappearance. However, it's very interesting. One of the men who is also missing along with Kelly, he was mentioned in that video as, you know, Kelly was going to pick him up. They were going to go to Detroit, and we know that happened. So there's a lot of things in that video that perhaps indicate that at least the people on the other end knew that they were coming down there. And yes, police, during a press conference last night, Chief James White said that, you know, they are looking into this along with a lot of other tips and concerning information on social media. They have a lot of work cut out for them in this story.
Yeah, and this doesn't seem to be a situation where three men were known to be hanging out together and they all, you know, have this clear connection. Because when you were speaking with Armani Kelly's mom last week, before we knew there were two other missing men, she didn't mention anybody else. Was she aware that there was maybe some other situation going on that night, or did she think he was with anybody?
No, in fact, when we interviewed her again on Friday, she mentioned only her son. She had no idea he was with anyone else. She actually talked to him earlier that night. Again, no indication that he was with anyone else. And it was only after our story aired that the parents of those other two men, the family members of those other two men, called police and made a police report.
Yeah, and his mom, Armani Kelly's mom, as she said, she's not going to stop. And it seems like she really has been exhausting every effort she can possibly find to try to find her son. What kind of things has she been doing?
Well, you know, we know that one very concerning fact of this case, according to police, all three of those men went missing the night of the 21st, early morning into the 22nd. All three of their phones went silent at around the same time that night. And since, you know, they went missing, Armani Kelly's car kept moving in the days after. She was able to track that movement with her OnStar service. She found it in a couple locations in Warren. The car was eventually picked up by the Warren Police Department, and they're in the process of processing the evidence in that car right now. So there's likely going to be some movement in this case really, really soon.
Okay, and I know you'll keep.
All right, Lorrie, I want to say this, because you brought it to my attention. I'm just going to put it out there. And it was something that I felt very strongly about, because I felt like you felt very strongly about it. There were, and if I'm saying it wrong, I'm sorry, Lorrie, if I'm saying it wrong, but I'm just going to put it out there like it is and like how I felt it and how I took it. It's some people out there that feels that you had money, you had the backup planned. Let me finish. I'm gonna go on ahead and say it. I'm just gonna go on ahead and say it. Because you are white and not black, you just had this magical background of people that was able to help you. You had the funds. This is the only reason why you was able to go out there and look for your damn child, which is something that every mother should do. Take your last. Do everything that is necessary. Quit your damn job. Do everything that is necessary in your power to go out and look for your child. So because you did this, you was getting backlash.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes. The thing is, first of all, we may be the last name Kelly, Irish, but I am Hispanic, Native American, and Irish. That's where the Kelly comes in. I guess in society's eyes, I may look white. I'm not. I was brought up in a Hispanic Catholic environment. I had nothing but $12 to $27 that my husband gave me when I left with Taylor and her mother. It was the grace of God that I have friends and family. I don't have a big family, but we have a small family. But my friends, if you knew me or know of my children, my friends are our family. And that's what I raised my boys to believe in. And it was my other son who paid for a night of motel. The Velasquez's family, Candy Baker, Leonard, who paid. There is millions and millions of people that have helped me. I didn't do this by myself. That's why I say it took a village, because I didn't do this by myself. I didn't have any. If anybody knows my story, I've had COVID since June, before Armani got out of prison. If you listen to his music, he'll say it right in there. My mama had COVID before I got out of prison. She know I would have done. I know him. I know he would have done something. He would have screwed up his own parole. I didn't tell him I had COVID. I was off of work since June, all the ways until September. I worked at a cannabis farm for a couple of months, and then I was still destitute. Just my husband, his Social Security, because he's 10 years older than me. That's all we lived on. He wasn't here all summer with me from April until September is when he came home. Armani came home in July. And then I didn't start this cannabis job, and I only worked 2 months. And then I started a new job with AARP, minimum wage, at 20 hours a week, and January. I had just been to work for 2 weeks before I even left again. I walked away from my job. It was the grace of God that helped me. The motel charged me the bare minimum. I ate once a day. I lived on coffee, Coke, and water. And that's how I kept going. It was the grace of God that the old ladies that lived up here in Oscoda moved downstate and let me borrow their car. It was the grace of God that people helped me. I had to buy a new phone. I'm on my third phone since I started this vendetta with this, trying to find out. I didn't have any resources. I don't even have any income. My income is minimum wage. What is it? Back then it was $9.90 something, and I was making $17.50 at the cannabis farm, but that was only 2 months of work. So, that's why the farm family, the people from up here, started to GoFundMe. Those people, I've been up here 8 years and I ain't never found nobody to click with until I went to that cannabis farm and worked with them. They're the ones that helped me through this. All my friends. It was just people helping me do this. I have no income. I'm not rich. I told the people I'm not a criminologist. I don't have a PhD. I have some education in social work. I don't have any degrees. I'm not Bill Gates. I don't have any money. We're the working poor, but we did this with the grace of God and the village. The village is who got me through this. GoFundMe, Cash App, my friends from other states. My stepbrothers paid for everything for my son to be cremated and buried. I didn't have anything. I still don't have anything. But if tomorrow you tell me I got to be there, guess what? I'm going to make a way. God will make a way. I never have been tested of my faith so much until this. And now I do. Is this what God had to do to me to make me see? I see now. And I was raised in a Catholic environment, but did I see this? Did I know this? No. When I started this, I never knew. I thought I was just going to bring him home by his dreads and beat his ass and slap the crap out of him and say, why would you do something stupid like this? And never to know. But when I got there, I knew deep in my heart he was gone, and I just needed to find his body. And I'm mad because nobody believed me. A whole week went by before anybody would believe me. That's what hurts the most.
I don't think it's so much as they didn't believe you. I just think they just didn't care.
You know why? You say that they didn't believe me, but you know what I believe is that they thought that they were disposable men. They were felons, and they gave two shits about them. They were 1, then 2, then 3. They were disposable men, and they didn't care.
Always remember, that is the first thing that gets brought out when anything happens to us. When anything happens to us, our backgrounds get brought out. This is what
Exactly.
it doesn't matter what I've been doing. You tell
I
me
agree.
what I was.
Yep.
Well, guess what? That's not who I am.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That moment, and the moment that whatever happened to me and whoever else it happened to, it had nothing to do with my past history. What I did
I
in the
agree.
past was past. This is
Exactly.
what I've been doing now.
But you know why? Because they're three black men with felons. They think that they're gangbangers, they're drug dealers and felons. The only thing that's true is they were all felons. Now, I don't know about the rest. I know my son was a felon. That's it. And he served his time. The rest of them did their time too. But because they're disposable to the human eye, because nobody really cared, Oscoda police told me to come home. Get your car and come home. Warren police believed that he was hanging out at the Huntington Apartments laid up with some woman. Detroit kept passing the buck. I mean, where else do we look what Melvin Dale did to Dante Wickard's mom? Oh, you call back in 2 more days. So basically 48 hours went by and you didn't believe it. So another 48 hours go by. Now you're going to do something. To me, they failed us all.
Yeah,
did.
They did. They did.
They did.
And these wasn't two. I mean, it's not two. These wasn't 3 black men that grew up together. These were 3 black
No.
men that met each other in prison.
Exactly. Yes.
So anything could have happened. Anything with any one of them. They definitely should have been on it. They all met each other. Even the people that you saw on the video, allegedly, they all met each other in prison.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
And being that they have been in there for so many years, they became their damn friends and their family from what they think while they're in there.
Exactly.
They became their friends, they fam. These my peoples, my folk. But guess what? You gotta leave and go back out to the real world where you ain't know none of these people. And these people came from everywhere. Everywhere. Even where I'm at right now. It's people from everywhere. People was brought up differently, baby. You think just because you was brought up in your little neighborhood that everybody was brought up like this.
No.
Everybody brought up this. I had to learn that at a grown ass age. I'm seriously. Seriously. I didn't realize it to a grown woman that everybody didn't grow up the same way I did. And the people in my neighborhood. I really thought that, Lorrie, until I came to a whole nother city. Baby, black on black over here in Atlanta. Everybody, you would think everybody was brought up just like you. But guess what? They was I don't know what was put into their brain growing up. You don't know. So just because you friends with them in jail and prison, that don't mean it's like that when you get out. It's cool to say, hey, what's up? Checking on you, all that. But you really got to form a true bond with somebody. Whether you're in prison, in jail, or damn it, out in the real world. Because as we can see with Shanquella, plus other stories that I showed y'all with Friends. Friends is 2023, baby. You finna learn about some Friends in 2023. It's like, Lord, it keep popping up on my shows. Friends doing this to their friend. That should not be happening at all.
Not friends.
Exactly. So, Lorrie, we are coming to the end of the show. Y'all, Lorrie will be back. She will definitely be back. We will not be doing any call-ins tonight. She just wanted to talk tonight. We wanted to talk to her tonight. You know, we got some questions in. I'm sorry I couldn't put it up everybody's questions. But it was a lot in the comments tonight. But Lorrie, I do have something special for you. A little surprise that I put together for all my guests. After this, I bring you back up. Now, I'm going to see you down there at the bottom, okay? Because it's going to pull us down. So I'm going to see you down at the bottom. So if I see you down there and I see you that tissue up there like this, y'all get your tissue this the time. If I see your tissue and stuff up there, then I'm just going to play a commercial afterwards. Okay? That's how I do things over here. But After that, I always let my guests end the show. And there's two things that I want you to talk about when you end the show. And one is I want you to speak to the police. Say whatever you want to say. I want you to speak to the police. And I would like for you to speak to people that we know that know something. We may not know who you are, but we know somebody knows something. Somebody done told something. I want you to speak to those people. Okay? So here go your surprise. Here we go.
All I hear is raindrops falling from the rooftop. Oh, baby, tell me why'd you have to go? 'Cause this pain I feel it won't go away. And today I'm officially missing you. I thought that from this heartache I could escape, but I've run it long enough to know there ain't no way. And today I'm officially missing you. Ooh, can nobody do me like you? I said every little thing you do. Hey baby, say it stays on my mind. And I officially, it's official. Ooh, you know that I'm missing you, yeah, yeah, yeah. All I hear is raindrops. Ooh, yeah. And I'm officially missing you.
Let's talk about real life issues, love and relationships. Let's have a good time with the missus. Let's talk about celebrities. Let's talk about caring events. Let's talk about things you don't see on regular TV. So join in on PEACHY Tea Time. PEACHY Tea Time. Tune in on PEACHY Tea Time. PEACHY Tea Time. Come join us on PEACHY Tea Time. PEACHY Tea Time. Join us on PEACHY Tea Time. PEACHY Tea Time. Yeah.
Peachy Tea Time is for the culture. Tune in every Saturday for the Weekend Spot, where the misses show crime in our black community and showcase independent artists. Special surprise guests for the hottest interviews. Tune in each and every Saturday. Check out the flyer for showtimes.
All right, we are back. We are back. We are back. Lorrie, first of all, again, I got to say thank you. Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much for trusting me with
Thank
your
you for
book.
being patient with me. You were very patient, and you weren't just out to get the story. You had been there almost from day one with me. You've checked on me, you called, you reached out, and I appreciate that. And that was beautiful. That was very beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. And I'm gonna email that to you. It's just something from Peachy Tea Time that you could just keep forever. Whenever you want to go back to it, it's all yours. Whatever you want to do with it, it's all yours. Completely all
Thank
yours.
you.
You're so welcome. Again, thank you. Me and my husband, thank you. I felt like this was very important for him to be here on this episode, on this edition. My shows air on Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Our families come on Wednesdays. So, but this particular story, I wanted my husband to be in on it. You know, I have a co-host for Wednesday as well. That's a gentleman, and he's from Detroit. But I just felt like Poolie needed to be here. You know,
I
to
think
talk
because of
about
a
a man
male
here as
perspective,
well.
it really
Yes,
helped.
yes, definitely, definitely. So, what I want to say to you, Lori, is first and foremost, you definitely have a friend in me. You know, even beyond this, I'm still gonna call and check on you. I'm still gonna make sure you're good. Still gonna make sure if you need anything. And let you know that I'm praying for you just as well.
Thank you.
Definitely, definitely. We're definitely praying for you over here at Peachy Tea Time. And we're praying for Dante and Montoya's family just as well. Even though they're not here tonight, we're still praying for them. That you all find justice. That you all find justice. Because at this point, you got the bodies back. Now that's all that's left is finding justice. And whoever done this will have to pay for what they have done. Because no matter what, and I want y'all to hear me when I say this. No matter what, no matter if it was Montoya for what Montoya did to Pastor Marvin Winans or whatever, or if it was what Armani did, aka Marley Whoop, for going on there saying what he said on his podcast or even on the video with the two men, regardless, they still did not deserve to lose their life. They got families. You didn't just kill them. You killed a part of
I
each
agree.
one of their family and friends. So you didn't just hurt them. And not only that, you never know. You may get caught, you may not get caught. But please believe me, God gives the biggest revenge. And you got to answer to him at the end of the day. At the end of the day,
I agree.
Whoever is doing all the killing to other people out there in the world, you, even if you do not get caught and go to prison for the rest of your life, baby, God can give something that even the jail and the prisons can't give. You would wish they would have caught you and you would have went to prison. Because what God got and what he can give, baby, that's why I try to stay on the right path. I try my best. And all because of one thing. At the end of the day, I'm trying to make it to heaven. That's what I'm trying to make it to. I don't know about nobody else. And it's every man for themselves, baby. When it's time to go. I'm responsible for me and only me. So, I don't know. I just had to say that, Lori. I just had to say it. I just had to it was on my spirit to say it. But Lori, I don't want you to leave. I'm going to talk to you at least for about 3 minutes after I end the broadcast. But I want you to end the show, like I said. I want you to talk to the police. Tell how you feel, as much as you can say. Tell how you feel. And also talk to the people out there that know something. Okay? So here we go. I'm going to pull me and my husband down. I will know when you're done. So it's up to you.
Okay, well, as far as the police, I think they know where I stand and what I need and what I want. I'm being patient, but also be patient with me in the sense that I need you guys to know that I need to know what's going on, even if it's just, hey, we're still working on it, or we can't tell you. Obviously, you guys have a motive, but nothing else has been said. And as far as for the people who done this, somebody's going to tell somebody who's going to tell somebody, and somebody knows something, and it will come out. That's my motto from day one. Somebody knows somebody who knows something, and somebody will speak. And God help us help you tell the truth and be justice for these 3 young men. That's the way I feel. All I want is justice to be served.
All right, y'all. Y'all heard it. We got some questions out here, right quick. Right here. Barbara so what does Lori need us to do? How can we help her and the families get justice? Lori's
Don't let it end. Don't let it end. Always speak on it. And I want that building destroyed. I don't want it condemned, because that's what it is now. I want it torn down. I need to know what I need to do to get that done. That's my first and foremost, besides getting justice, but just praying and pleading, keeping the story alive, because once it's gone, people, they think it's not, it's nothing to be heard. No, I'm never going to let this go. If you look at my Facebook, I'm going to always keep putting his stuff up there. I'm going to keep playing that music. I'm going to keep letting people know. And it's not just one, there's 3. It's not that just I'm worried about Armani. I feel for those mothers. I know how it feels. I don't ever want someone to be a part of this club that has to bury a child. It's the worst feeling in life.
Amanda Kennedy said, God bless you. I pray you all get the justice you deserve. Justice for Armani, Dante, and Montoya. Robert says, black men on parole. That's why they wouldn't listen.
I agree.
Now, Candace, I hope Candace still here. I'm going to put you up, Candace. Candace said, Lori ain't white. She ain't white. Lori, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Lori. Please forgive me. Candace, forgive me too, girl. Forgive me too. I am so sorry.
Because she knows I hate when they say that I'm white.
I'm sorry.
But again, that's where the backlash was coming from.
Yep, that's where it was coming
Exactly.
from.
The backlash was coming.
Exactly. But they didn't know. If you ask, you'll get it.
Yep, exactly. Amber said, wow, that's sad, but God don't like ugly.
Totally agree.
Hold on. Peachy, I sent you something on Facebook Messenger. Hold on, girl. Hold on, Barbara. Hold on, girl. Let's see what she sent me, Lori. Now, we don't show what the other girl sent. So let's see if we can find what she sent just as well before you get off here. Let me see. Hold on. She sent it to my to the business page. So give me a second. I'm sorry, y'all. Baby, put some more questions up while I find it and read it. I'm finna pull it up in a second. Let's see. Yes, you do.
You put this one up?
We right here. Go down to new comments. Let's just scroll. Okay, I'm trying to see if I can find it.
I'm trying. Nobody will take my case. Nobody will take it.
I know about that.
What do you mean you know about that?
No one will take your case.
Why do you feel like no one wants to take the case?
It's the state.
Yep. You're going against 4 police departments and nobody wants to touch it with a 10-foot pole. You know what Jeffrey Feiger's office said? If I can't win it, I don't want it.
Wow. If he can't win it, he don't want it.
It's basically what they said in the letter. If you can't win it, they don't want it. And they're going against 4 police departments.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I need all the prayers I can get. But the truth is, nobody wants to touch it with the 10-foot pole.
Nope. I've been in that situation, so to speak. When you got to deal with the state.
Yep. And then eventually you'll have to deal with what? State of Michigan, That's 4 police departments with the state of Michigan. You got Oscoda, Warren, Detroit, and then Melvindale. Melvindale isn't mine per se, but the other 3 are. But the bottom line is they're all involved in it. How do you say it? Point blank, period. They all messed up.
Yep. They all got hand in it.
Yep. And do I trust the police department? Hell no.
How could you? How could you?
You can't.
I've been to 4 different ones, and they all gave me the same garbage.
Exactly.
But I'm supposed to trust you.
Yep.
Now we did get some information. One of the things that we got was that it was squatters living in that abandoned apartment building.
Yeah.
And they was actually delivering food through DoorDash like a month ago, and people was up there with kids. Yeah, people was up there with kids. There's a lot of different scenarios, different opinions that people is saying about this story, y'all.
Is condemned. If it ain't been torn down yet, listen.
Why does it have electricity? I don't understand that.
I don't understand that either, Lorrie.
Oh, they go find, if I'm a squatter and I want electricity, I find a way to get electricity.
So you don't think nobody was paying for the electricity over there?
No.
Well, how could you pay for electricity when the building's supposed to be condemned?
Exactly.
How does the electricity company allow electricity in a place that is supposed to be condemned?
Exactly.
That's what I don't understand.
But look, even in condemned buildings, they don't turn off the water.
And let me say,
Well,
I'm sorry,
that's
y'all.
true.
Hold on. Let me say this.
They still have running water.
Let me say this. I'm sorry. We got to say this. If you guys are watching on Roku TV right now, the stream probably will be ending soon on Roku TV. So just jump over to YouTube or Facebook. Okay. If it cut off, just jump over to YouTube or Facebook if we haven't ended the show. But okay, go ahead. Squatters. How they gonna get the power on? How the squatters gonna get the power on?
If it's a meter on there, they have not completely cut all the wiring out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
They can find a meter from another abandoned house, put that meter in, and start up power.
Who?
Run up the pole. Man, you know, people used to steal cable and run up the pole and steal cable.
But they're not calling the power company to get it on.
No, they're not calling the power company to get it on. It's being rigged.
But I do know that there is electricity in that place. I do know that.
We all saw that. Yeah. We all saw that. We definitely saw the lights on.
I'm pretty sure that it was running water in there too. That's a perfect place for a squatter.
Well, obviously it was somewhere where they lured him to, because I can't imagine that Dante and Armani, as big as they are, were going to walk in there unless they were lured or somebody said, come on, it's cool, let's go in here, or we're going to go get so-and-so or such and such. Because I'm not going to say Armani didn't drink. I'm not going to say Armani didn't smoke a blunt now and then. But did he do hardcore drugs? No. Did he do those in prison? I don't know. Was he selling drugs up here? No. Was he a gangbanger up here? No. Was he in the Bloods in prison? Yes, I do know that now. Did I know that when he was in there for 8 years? No. Did I know that he was part of the Bloods and he was in the red zone? No. Did I learn that? Yes. I learned it the hard way. I got my ass told off by my 3 family members, my husband, my son, my other son, and my brother, and by the red zone. The red zone educated me, Ratchet and 7 Mile. I learned a lot walking that whole strip that one day. Learned a lot.
Wow. Now, Pooley, I gotta ask you this. As a man, because they were, all 3 of them was grown men. So as a man, what could have possibly got the 3 of them inside of this apartment building? If they was alive and breathing, and able to walk freely. What could have got? And I'm not even gonna say walk freely, because me personally, I think that possibly they could have had the guns up to them and they tell them, get your asses in this house, in this apartment building, you know. But what could have possibly happened? We don't know, y'all. We do not know.
Okay, the show got canceled. So at this
If it was a show.
Okay, well, if it was a show, it got canceled. Now, they're not from Highland Park. They're not from Detroit, right?
I think one of them was from Detroit.
Yeah, Montoya Givens and Dante's from Melvindale.
Okay.
Okay, so were they living there at the time? Was anybody living
No,
there?
but I'll tell you who was living there. One of the guys on that video, Trey Sean. He lives in Highland Park.
In Highland Park.
Yeah.
Allegedly. We gotta say allegedly.
Allegedly. Okay, that's what it says on his Facebook page.
That is
Allegedly.
exactly what it says. I seen it myself. That's exactly what it says. You are right, Lori. That's exactly
So
what
I
it says.
allegedly live in Oscoda, okay?
Exactly. But go ahead, Bully. What could have possibly led them to get up in there?
They called. Just like he was on the live, he picked up the phone. You know, being that they was all bloods, could have been a possibility of checking in.
Okay, so let me give you some insight. While living in Oscoda, somebody works at a bank that her family lives in Detroit. Her family told her that my son was missing. She called my husband because people of the same tend to keep to the same, correct? So she told me at 7:13 and at 7:15, Armani pumped gas at a Highland Park gas station. And at 9 o'clock, his phone went dead. Montoya Givens, Dante Wicker, all of a sudden, all of them at 9 o'clock. You want me to tell you what I think? They never left Highland Park. He never left. He never was in Warren, Michigan. The car was there. He would never went to that Lounge 31, or if he went there, he only stopped in for a minute, then left. What was he doing in Highland Park? None of them boys live in Highland Park. None of them are from Highland Park, but allegedly the one that was in the video. Why all three of them guys are gone from the video? They're not talking to the parole officers. They're not talking to their family. Where are they at? If everybody's on parole, why ain't they checking in? It seems it's like a coincidence, but it's not. That's all I have to say. Timestamp, date. You can't change that.
Yeah, and see what I was saying was he's checking in with the rest of the bloods, and they was like, okay, well, just meet us over here. They all go over there.
I agree.
But when they get over there, it's something.
They got another thing coming. You got it right. And I don't know if all three of them were bamboozled or ambushed. I don't know if one played a part more than the other. In my eyes, if my son played a part by that video he did, then I apologize. But do I know the truth? I don't know if we'll all ever know the truth. Maybe the police, they say they have a motive. That's the last thing I heard from them before I left Warren, Michigan with my son's ashes. That's the last thing I heard. They have a motive. My understanding now is they got to put all the pieces together. They got one try only. And that's the only try they have. If they go to court and they can't make it stick, then we're stuck forever. So I'm waiting patiently, but my patience are wearing. And I just need some answers. And I know somebody out there knows something. Somebody's going to talk. Can't nobody hold water. Hell, I can't hold water.
She said she can't hold water. She ain't doing nothing but speaking facts. That's all she's doing, speaking facts.
Yeah.
You know, so.
But you know what? Your husband's right. Nobody's going to lure three men unless there's an ulterior motive or they had a reason. He's a man thinking like a man, speaking from a man's point of view, which is totally different than us women.
Exactly.
It was more of let's meet up. And this is the spot I'm asking you to meet up at.
Yep.
When you get there, you might be looking like, okay, well, this looks sketchy. Now, when they pull up, it's like, hey, get out the car, come on. You know, whatever they was into, you know, don't know if they was smoking, don't know if they was popping pills, don't know if they was drinking, but
don't know.
They could have just said, come on, we finna go in here and this is what we finna do, you know. Because again, you went down there feeling like, you know, these was your peoples.
Yeah.
Let my peoples know that I'm here.
Yep.
He told them, I'm coming.
Yes, he did.
Now, again, if he didn't read into a lot of stuff that was being said in the video, yeah, I went down there. Yeah, I called.
But are we only reading? But Lorrie and Pooley, are we only reading into it because we know what happened?
No.
Now?
No.
You see what I'm saying?
No.
Like, if we was really on that video call.
If you had gave me that video and not told me nothing else, my eyebrows still would have raised up and was like, huh?
Like it's doing now.
I don't think I'm going. I
think he was too trustworthy. I think he was too trustworthy, and I think the other guys didn't see it coming. And I don't know if one was the hit, or two were the hit, or all three of them were the hit, or they were all collateral damage. People keep blaming Armani until they tell me, the police, when we go to court and say it was Armani's video, then I will say, okay, but do I blame myself? No, they're grown men. Should we all blame one of them or the other?
You can't even blame.
We don't know who to blame
because if it was his fault of them wanting to do harm, that's it. Them wanting to do harm. He just brought two other people with him that didn't do nothing. Again, you're witnesses.
Yep. Everybody's gone. Everybody's collateral. Yep.
Since y'all here, I know you gonna talk. You his homeboy. So I might as well, you know, again, there's no sneak them over here. Let's get them over here. No, it ain't. We don't even have to do that. Again, 9 times out of 10, he probably called him and said, hey, I'm here, man. Oh, okay. I knew you was pulling up. Come on.
She's got a question about it. Did the squatters in the building interview? Only person they interviewed was one man walking by saying that they hear gunshots all the time and they don't do nothing about it because it's normal. What would the squatters tell them? First thing I would say is get out the building. This is a crime scene. You think any of them are going to say anything? No, they're going to come back. Why did somebody send Armani's fiance a fake crime scene with dreads and blood and everything? And she sent it directly to the sergeant, found out it was fake. It was somebody setting it up, faking it, sending it to her. See what I mean? So already you'd think that they had trampled over the crime scene when indeed it wasn't even the crime scene. It was a different, they staged it. Now that's how morbid people's minds are. And obviously it was someone who lives in that vicinity or is a squatter in that building.
She said it was a hoax.
Yes. But do you know how devastating that was to her to see dreads of my son's hair and blood and rubbish all around? I mean, that's sick. That to me, whoever did that was really, really pushing it to an extreme. Or did you just want to be noticed? Or what was the issue? I don't get it.
Exactly. What was your motive behind that?
I don't know. Maybe to make themselves a star. It wasn't the truth because we sent it directly. I had her send it directly to the sergeant of homicide and missing person, and they did look into it, and it was not the real crime scene. And this person says, have I spoken to Dateline? No. I'm trying to get as much attention as I can, as how I can. I'm still working on paperwork for $1,000 estate. Can you believe it? And I'm getting all this crap. I mean, it's just one thing after another. I didn't realize it would be this hard to get his last paycheck, or to close a bank account, or to at least just be part of his estate. So in case something comes up, I'm not getting rich doing this. I'm not trying to make money. All I'm trying to do is put it out there so people can see it, know that it's true, know that it's happening, and someone is going to help me. I don't know who, I don't know where, I don't know when, but people like you that keep putting it out there, because this ain't dead to me. This ain't going nowhere. Just
It's
because
just the
they're
beginning.
dead. Exactly. I agree. It's the beginning. People think it's over. It ain't over. It's just the beginning.
Okay.
Well, Lori, I'm telling you now, anytime you need to use my platform to get this information out, and when I say anytime, I do mean anytime. Anytime you want to come on here, you need to push it again. Miss Peachy, look, I don't see nobody talking about it. Can we do another show? Yes. Yes. That's what I'm gonna tell you. Yes. Because
Thank
like
you.
I
I
told you from the
appreciate it.
beginning, it's not about clicks and views to me. It's about bringing awareness and finding justice. And
It's
that's
about
for
clicks and
anybody.
views.
Why you say click? Okay, he say clicks and views because the more people that click and view it, the more that you're gonna share with your people so that they can see it, and then they gonna share with their people so that they can see it.
And
Because
that's all I've been doing.
I'm telling you, y'all, once it gets to
It's about
CNN,
clicks and views. It's not clickbait.
the shade room, the neighborhood talk, all of that. Once it get up there, it seems like that's when people want to start. And when I say people, the justice system, the police, the government, Biden ass.
Miss Lori said it already. She has a village, and it took a village to get where she at.
Yeah.
And guess what? To get even
Exactly.
further, it's gonna take that village to grow. That grow that
I
that
agree.
that village can no longer sit on 2 buildings and 3 people. It is
Yeah.
time for that village to have more buildings, more people, and more buildings and more people. We're gonna have to build these villages up to the point where everything is a village. No matter where you go, it's your village. No matter where
I
we go,
agree.
it's our village. Because it doesn't make sense. We have to be our own village at this point.
Yeah.
We are our own village. And we have to understand that. And until we come together and become one in this village and understand one another, help one another, push one another, we're going to be stuck in
I
the
agree.
same spot.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
Amen.
100%. Y'all, we gotta push this story.
Let's
We
build.
got to. Lori, right now, please let everybody know. Anybody that's watching, that's doing podcasting, that's doing radio, because you know I used to do radio too, girl. But that's doing radio, doing television, syndicated television, anything. Roland Martin, the Shade Room, the Neighborhood Talk, CNN, The View, anybody that's watching, where can they find you? Please let everybody know. Besides, if they can't find you, they can always come to me, and then I'm gonna tell them this is how you.
Of course. Come to the Peachtree. Yes, of course. I'm on Facebook. My name's Lorrie Kemp. I look, since the time I started this, I've been everybody's friend, because ain't nobody not a friend, because that friend knows somebody who knows somebody who knows something. So that's why every request I grant, because I never know who's behind that person that might know somebody from another state, another country, another village, that has somebody that has some kind of power, a backup that can help me demolish that building, that can help me get a lawyer, that can help me fight for justice, that can help the village, all of us, get this taken care of. Because every moment that goes by that nobody remembers who these 3 young men are, it hurts my heart, because there's 3 mothers that lost 3 men that coulda, woulda been more than what they were when they died. And they'll never, ever, ever come back. And that's the sad part.
I hope y'all listening. I really hope y'all listening. If you know something, y'all, please say something. This could be your family member up here on PEACHY Time. This could be your cousin, your auntie, your uncle, your brother, your sister, your friend, your BFF. You know, it could be anybody. Your nephew, your niece, your mama, your daddy, grandma, grandpa, papa. It could be anybody.
Gotta get back to the days when your neighbor whooped your ass too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
when the whole neighborhood watched out for each other.
You scared to teach this kid something now because he might shoot you or his parents might shoot you.
Exactly, but that's not the way I was brought up. I was brought up with Miss Velasquez, Miss Gonzalez telling me, go home or we're going to whip your ass or we're going to tell your mama or we're going to come down the street with the switch or whatever and come home when the street lights come on and run around instead of being locked up in the house on you know, your TV or Game Boy or whatever it is that you're doing, social media. I mean, don't get me wrong. Social media got this out there. Social media got me the publications that I needed. Those helped. But would they have done that if I didn't get out there? Would they have listened? No, they weren't listening for a week. It went by almost 7 days went by until the second young man went missing. Now they believe me. Now they believe that this 2 felons are missing. Now 3 felons are missing. Oh, that's peculiar. That's a coincidence. Now they want to put something on it. Now the state police is involved.
Not only is it a coincidence that all 3 black men, not only is, oh my gosh, 3 black men are missing. You know what the main thing is? It's 3 black men missing, and it's gonna get all over the world. We got to do something. If we don't do something, then it's gonna be a riot. It's gonna be a problem. Then all the protests gonna come from all over, from everywhere. We can't have that, so we gotta do something. But guess what? Damn it, you ain't doing enough.
How long was Dante out?
That's the only person we don't know.
I don't know.
I've been able to find that on social media. We don't know how long he's been out, but I do have a reading. It's very long, y'all. So I'm sure when we come back, again, I will read it to y'all. But his baby mama, she did speak, but she wrote it down, and basically, to be honest, basically what she was feeling and saying is that she felt like it was all because of Armani. That's what she felt, you know. But she talked about how they all was in contact. They all trying to work together. They all trying. It may not be happening like that as far as everybody working together, but no one's placing. I feel like she's placing the blame, you know, and anybody else.
That's fine.
But
I'm not going to begrudge her for it. Exactly. That's the way she feels. But in the end, we'll find out the truth.
Yep.
The truth will prevail.
Lorrie has heard about this message just as well. So she knows about it. You know, it's not a surprise to her, you know, but it's just, she didn't put no punctuations, none of that. And it's just not even worth reading to me. It's not worth really reading and putting it on PEACHY Time, you know. But from what she said, Dante was a good dude. He went to prison. He got out trying to do the right thing. And she said that he was just supporting Armani with his rap career. And he was just there to, you know, be the support. And he was definitely, from what she said, he was definitely just a witness that got caught up. So I really just broke it down to y'all. She said more, but that's basically what she was trying to say. But go ahead. What'd you say?
No, I said just to sum it up.
Yeah, just to sum it up, that's what she was trying to say. You know. But again, no one knows the truth. Because if anybody knew the truth and told it, they would be locked up. They would be locked
We
up.
wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have to talk about it because guess what? Case would be solved. It'd be closed. We'd go to
Yeah.
court, or the guy or whoever did this person, we would be already in prison, or they're going to be locked up, and there's a court. They admit to it. We don't even have to go to court. That would save millions of dollars and time. But is that going to happen? Probably not. We're going to probably have to take this all the way through the judicial system. I can see that already, because ain't nobody going to come out clean.
Armani is not here to tell what happened. Dante is not here to tell what happened. And Montoya is not here to tell what happened. And what happened to them. So that means the other people that's part of this is trying to make sure they don't get caught. So
I believe you're right.
Yeah, so with that being said, we're going to have to fight, and continue to fight. Because at the end of the day, I don't care what nobody say right now. You can say what you want to say, but right now, I don't think there's nobody right now that can say that they knew for a fact three people that they knew that was close to them that left and went somewhere and never came back. Never came back. This is something new to all of us in the United States. As far as in our era right now, this is something new.
I agree.
Like, how in the hell you get 3 black men? It is what it is. You got 3 niggas that been in a joint 10 years, 8 years. I don't know how many years Dante had, but you mean to tell me you lose some people that they could get 3 of them and kill all 3 at the same time?
Yeah, it's
They
not a
all get cut off
coincidence.
at the same time?
Yep.
3 folks that done been locked up for some time. And you mean to tell me that y'all done seen somebody like this before? Baby, you a lie, the truth ain't in you. Tell the truth, shame the devil. This is new to all of us, and it's scary. It's scary to all of us. When I say scary, scary. That they can get 3 black men and kill all 3. And we out here just talking about it. Trying to figure out. Because that's all it is, speculations. That's it. Because
Exactly.
nobody knows what happened. Nobody knows what happened when Armani left in that car. When he called and left a voicemail on his mama's voicemail and said, I made it. Nobody knows exactly what happened from there. Nobody. To where they can say, I know for a fact, besides God, the people that did it, and Armani, Dante, and Montoya.
Exactly. Agree.
That's exactly what it is. We don't know. We all speculate until the truth comes out. So, Lorrie, again, I thank you so much for joining us tonight. We are going to go ahead and end the broadcast. Lorrie, is there anything else that you want to say? I know you're going to come back again, but is there anything else you want to say right now before we leave?
I just thank you for putting me on the platform. And I know there's people that are negative, but you know what? All them negatives, there's 25 to 5 million positives. And I take the positive before the negative, and I don't begrudge anybody their feelings on how they feel. All I know is that I want justice, and I want that building torn down, and I want that club shut down for life. That's my goal.
Amen. Amen. And you know what? What your goal is, Lorrie, is my goal. Your goal is my goal, is Pooley's goal, and everybody's goal that's watching Peachy Tea Time. We are behind you. We stand with you 100%. 100%.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
So, you guys, we got to leave. Lorrie, just stay on for about 2 or 3 minutes after I end the broadcast. Just want to say a couple things to you. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you tune in on Saturday, 3:00 p.m., the Weekend Spot, baby, where we show a lot of independent artist music. Pooley says I always talk with my hands. I I'm a girl Drake. Okay, we talk with our hands. It is what it is. But you gotta listen to my babies. Okay, you gotta listen to my babies. We out of here. I love y'all. Mwah. The missus with the kisses, baby.
Peachy, Peachy,